Well, we're back here at Tom's. We're getting set to weld in the rockers. First of all, Tom, how are you doing today?
Great, Jeff. How are you?
Great to see you. Well, it looks like glue over here that you've got that you're holding these rockers on with, but that's not exactly what that is it?
It's called metal adhesive.
Metal adhesive.
This is a two-part acrylic, and this is the way that we do a lot of repairs on the newer cars. This is a system that's implemented at the factory, and we're trying to duplicate that. And some of the reasons why we do it on this is for strength and for corrosion resistance. It does both. It will actually increase the pull rate on the weld by 2 times. So,
right. Now, if you were to weld something, it would take you about 800 pounds in order to pull that apart, but when you use this and then weld over top of this, what does that change it to?
It increases it to 2,000 pounds per square inch. So it does increase the strength by quite a bit. Now the way this works, and we've already done it to this, so we don't want to take that back off, but we dispense a little bit out here, make sure that the two-part components, they kind of swivel together in here and mix all together. And then what we'll do is we'll lay a tiny little bead, and what we did on the other side is we ran it all the way down, both sides. You do that, just a little tiny bead because it'll squish together and all that stuff will ooze out of there.
Right, that's all you need right there.
It's got little tiny glass balls inside of it, which keeps it from squishing all the glue out when you clamp it together.
So then you go ahead and place this in. You sort of fitted it up in there, then clamped it.
That's right.
And then now that this is between these two parts of the metal, the next step is to weld it. But I see that we have 2 different types of welders here, one of which is a double-sided welder that we've seen before.
That's right.
And this is a single-sided welder.
These are made by ARC, the Resistance Welder Company. It's battery-powered welder. It works great. Duplicates a factory weld. This is a duplication of what a factory spot weld looks like, that after the tear test, it actually nuggets, that's called, where it tears through this side and nuggets on the other side. This is a good weld. And we'll use we've got the single-sided welder hooked up right now because I've got some areas here that I'm going to be able to get into real easy with it. Yep, right in the top. And on the bottom here, we'll get into the lower pinch weld here and a little bit around this vice grip up here.
Right, the only reason we don't use this up here is because, of course, this just won't fit in there, and that's the reason why we use that. And that is a MIG welder from Dan MIG at Equipment Plus up in Moore Park, California.
That's right. And where we can't get these type of welders into, you have to use a MIG welder like this.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to stand back, put on my glasses, and let you get to welding up here. Let's show the folks what this is all about.
All right, John.
Well, Tom, that looks great, and of course with the added strength of that fuser glue, that's going to last a long time, isn't it?
This is really a great repair.
2,000 pounds it's going to take to pull that apart. For those people who want to buy their first MIG welder, what advice would you have for them?
Well, I like 110 volt welder. It's really convenient around the shop. We've got 3 of them there in the shop, and we use them all over the place. But one of the most important issues on these 110 welders is the amperage. Dan MIG makes a great welder, and it's 140 amp. 140 is about the most you can get out of a 110 volt welder, but look for something around 120 to 140 if you're going to look for a welder.
So nothing under 120. And of course the welders don't come with the bottles of gas. You have to go to your welding supply store for those. And of course I think the most important thing that we can tell our viewers at home is once you get your welder, get some pieces of sheet metal like this and just continue to practice and practice and practice until you get those welds just right, because of course welding as well as you do is an art. You've done a great job. Thanks for showing us all about it. Well, there you are. Those are the rockers on our 56 Chevy. When we come back here on Classic Car Garage, we've got your new product segment. Stay tuned.